Hey, Barry here from Hole in One Success. Just want to come on here and give you a few little drills for chipping and pitching. You know, that's a big part of the game, those little short shots around the green, and they set you up for those one putts and those recoveries or that opportunity to make a birdie. You know, and how many of you struggle with your chipping in terms of your contact, where you're hitting behind the ball or hitting it thin and sending it across the green, and then your friend says, "Oh, you're moving too much. Keep your head still. You know, don't move so much. You know, and you're blah blah blah." And then next thing you know, you freeze up and you're hitting it worse. Mistake golfers make for their short shots is they don't move enough. And I'll explain that for you. You know, obviously we have to have some balance for our short shots to stay centered because they're shorter shots. But you know, you've got to move enough to allow the arms to swing freely so that the club will bottom out where it's supposed to. If you freeze up too much, don't move enough, the club's going to bottom out, you know, all over the place. You know, it's got no momentum to move through and stay on line and make good contact. So I'll show you that. I'll just demonstrate a few little quick things here. So typically what happens, that golfer that's really struggling, you know, with their short shots and their pitches, you know, first thing I want to look at is just their starting weight distribution, where they're positioning themselves. Typically they've got their weight on the wrong foot when they're starting. You know, typically we see, you know, too much weight on the trail foot, not enough on the lead side. You know, we want more weight on the lead side than the back foot for pitching and chipping. You know, it makes it a lot easier to rotate through the ball and make good solid contact. Then the other thing is we see, you know, they freeze too much. You know, they're focusing on keeping their head down and not moving anything, you know, and they're just kind of jabbing at it, and the club passes the hands. Or the club releases too early, you know, the handle of the club comes in too low and you bottom out before the ball, so all kinds of stuff goes on. We actually, you know, when we're pitching and chipping, we want a little bit of body motion toward the target so that I have the momentum of the club head moving through toward the target, and it will bottom out naturally, you know, where it's supposed to through the golf ball. So I'll just demonstrate here. I'll just do one with my lead arm on the golf club. I've got to move a little bit, you know, to let the club head swing through toward the target and to be able to make contact. If I don't move, I'm not going to be able to make very good contact. You know, that's hard. I've got to drive it down into it, and who knows where it's going to go, and it's not going to be very consistent. So doing a couple with just one arm on the club is just a great way to feel that movement in the lower body and that natural swing toward the target. You can see where my arm is swinging out and through, and the club's going to come through very consistent almost every time when you do that. Then I'll put both hands on the club here now. And you can see there's that little bit of a rotation. I'm balanced on my lead side, and I've got some movement in my lower body toward the target. I'm not staying perfectly still. I have to move a little bit. And that's important for chipping and pitching. Golfers make that mistake of staying too still. They don't let themselves rotate toward the target a little bit. You know, I'm rotating around my lead foot for sure. You know, and I don't have this big, you know, rotation and full follow through because it's not a big swing, right? It's a shorter swing. But I still have this inherent rotation and movement in that lower body toward the target. We need that for good quality shots, whether it's a chip, pitch, or a full shot. And you can see where the butt of the club goes in the hands. They go up. You know, they're going to go around you as your body turns, rather than, you know, shoving the club out at the top target, you know, trying to, you know, follow through at the target with the club. That creates a lot of tension, and really difficult to get the club to bottom out properly when you do that. So give it a try. Instead of moving less on your short shots, move a little bit more. Put your weight on your lead side. Don't be afraid to let your lower body move a little bit. You know, belt buckle will be pointing toward the target a little bit more on those short shots for more consistency. Just like that.